Welcome back. We now begin with our Superfast news segment. A single-judge bench is set to has pronounced in order on a petition which was filed by the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, which sought the quashing of Governor Thawarchand Gehlot's sanction to prosecute him in the Muda case. Essentially, what the order is that it's a setback for the Karnataka Chief Minister. Days after miscreants tampered with a railway track between Surat and Kim railway track by removing 71 rail safety clips and fish plates, the Surat police detained 3 individuals, including 2 railway employees, for their alleged involvement in the incident. India detects its first case of the clade 1b variant of Mpox after a 30-year-old man from Kerala was diagnosed with the virus. The WHO had initially declared the disease a public health emergency owing to this very variant of the virus. Lebanon's health minister has said that 274 people have been killed in Israeli strikes on Lebanon, including 21 children and 31 women. More than 1,000 people have been injured. And this is what the health minister has said. These figures come on top of the dozens killed and thousands injured last week when pagers and walkie-talkies were detonated inside of Lebanon. The Israeli military said it struck 300 targets in Lebanon on Monday in one of the most intense barrages of airstrikes in nearly a year of fighting against the Hezbollah militant group. Military officials said they plan to widen the offensive. Around 600 people had been killed in Lebanon since October this year. Lebanese cabinet holds emergency meeting after country has been hit by Israeli barrage, which killed over 270 people. The latest Israeli strikes are one of the deadliest and most intense barrages in nearly a year. The Israeli military warned residents in southern and eastern Lebanon to evacuate their homes ahead of a widening air campaign against Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he promised that he will change the balance of power in the north, and that's exactly what we're doing. That is the statement. He appealed to Israeli citizens to obey the directives of the Home Front Command, saying it saves lives, and called on all Israelis to stand together with determination, responsibility, and of course, patience. Israel's Iron Dome rocket defense system knocked down rockets fired from Lebanon as airstrikes hit southern Lebanon. Israeli authorities have reported a series of air raid sirens in northern Israel, warning of incoming rocket fire from Lebanon. And the increasing strikes and counterstrikes have raised fears of an all-out war, even as Israel is still battling Hamas in Gaza. The Israeli military said that an alleged attacker attempted to stab a soldier in an army base in central Israel. According to an army statement, the suspect was neutralized by an army worker from the base. The UK Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, was interrupted by a protester calling for a halt in arms sales to Israel as she spoke at the Labour Party conference in Liverpool. The protester was swiftly forced out of the venue by security as audience members jeered and cheered.
They're dishonesty and they're rule breaking.
France's new government, dominated by conservatives and centrists, gathered for the first time. Prime Minister Barnier convened a meeting in the morning with newly appointed ministers ahead of a cabinet session in the afternoon with centrist President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Presidential Palace. The hearing opens at The Hague in a high-stakes arbitration case between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine accused Russia of seeking to illegally seize control of the strategically important Sea of Azov and Kerch Strait, as hearings opened in a high-stakes arbitration case between Kyiv and Moscow. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky met with the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Zelensky visited a Pennsylvania ammunition factory to thank the workers who are producing one of the most critically needed munitions for his country's fight to fend off Russian ground forces. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres met with European Council President Charles Michel, EU High Representative Josep Borrell, and their team ahead of the UN General Assembly in New York. They discussed cooperation between the United Nations and the European Union on global issues and exchanged views on the situation in Afghanistan and the Middle East, as well as the war in Ukraine. 4 people were killed and 17 others injured when multiple shooters opened fire in what police described as a targeted hit on one of the people killed at a popular nightlife spot in Birmingham, Alabama. Malaysian police have rescued dozens more children and raided premises nationwide linked to an Islamic business group as an investigation for alleged sexual assault of children and deviant teachings deepened. China on Monday extends sincere congratulations to Sri Lankan Marxist lawmaker Anura Kumara for winning the presidential election. He ran as head of the Marxist-leaning National People's Power Coalition and defeated President Ranil Wickremesinghe, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, and 35 other candidates in recent polls. Soyuz capsule carrying 2 Russians and 1 American from the International Space Station landed in Kazakhstan, ending a record-breaking stay for the Russian pair. The capsule landed on the Kazakh steppe about 3.5 hours after undocking from the ISS in an apparently flawless descent. The 2 Russian astronauts returned after 374 days aboard the space station, the longest continuous stay there.
Touchdown. Right on the money. A textbook touchdown on the steppe of Kazakhstan at 6:59 a.m. Central Time, 7:59 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:59 p.m. at the landing site.
On this day, exactly 17 years ago, Team India won the inaugural edition of the T20 World Cup under the stewardship of MS Dhoni. With some high, intense drama in a thrilling final, the men in blue got the better of arch rivals Pakistan by 5 runs to emerge victorious in 2007. Meanwhile, India has tightened its grip on the top spot of the World Test Championship table and is on course to make the final of the tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has also boosted its chances of reaching the finale after outclassing New Zealand and registering a 63-run win over the Kiwis. And England women's cricket team captain Heather Knight has been reprimanded and issued a suspended fine of £1,000. This comes after a 12-year-old photo of her recently surfaced online showing her wearing blackface at a sports-themed fancy dress party. In football, Mohun Bagan Super Giants completed a thrilling 3-2 comeback to earn all 3 points against Northeast United in the ongoing Indian Super League. The win gave the Mariners their first win of the league season as they continue to chase table toppers Bengaluru and Jamshedpur FC. Over in La Liga, Real Madrid will be looking to continue their winning form against Alaves after their 4-1 victory against Espanyol over the weekend. A win tonight will take the Spanish Giants 1 point behind arch rivals Barca, who are sitting top of the table with 18 points. And Manchester United fans have been given their first glimpse of how Old Trafford could look like after a revamp. The club's minority shareholder, INEOS, is considering whether to pursue a £2 billion plan for a new 100,000-seat stadium or redevelop the existing ground.